All right, guys, what's going on? I hope you're doing good. Going to be doing a video about Sebastian Rogers. It's been a long time since I've covered the Sebastian Rogers case. Ain't really been nothing going on in it, I guess, until now. Some people have emailed me and said, "Hey, Don, they're talking about Sebastian Rogers um, possibly calling a burner phone." So they will know what I thought about it. So here's the deal. Here's what I think about it, guys. You know, we've gone this long without hearing anything, and all of a sudden we find out that Sebastian may have called a burner phone, and I said we've all probably said from the beginning that if Sebastian was communicating with someone electronically, that would be easy to find out, right? So if it's true, it was easy to find out. They just looked at Sebastian's phone, see an outgoing call to possibly a burner phone. But then there's where the problem lies, is the burner phone. In my opinion, we have enough resources this day and age to find out at least who purchased the burner phone, right? I'm sure there were probably, I mean, if they found out it was a burner phone, there's probably, some type of cell data that law enforcement can cross-reference and find out, whether it was a flip phone, like a Motorola flip phone, maybe a real cheap, just a real cheap Android phone, like smart Android, because you can get an Android phone now, a cheap Android phone, for probably like $30. It's not a flip phone, it's a smartphone. Now, how it performs, that's another story. You know what I mean? Probably laggy as hell and all that stuff. But I would think, with the resources and technology that we have today, they would at least be able to find out what kind of phone it was and trace that back to, like, cross-reference that back to the retail place that sold it. Okay, let's say if it was purchased at Walmart, that would be awesome, because they would tell when and where it was purchased at which Walmart, and Walmart's got all kinds of security cameras, right? Now the problem is, well, no, even if you ordered one, it's got to go to an address, right? And I'm sure cops would be, all over the address the phone was shipped to if it was ordered off the internet, a burner phone ordered off the internet. It's just like there's so much, there's just so many ways to, cross-reference and trace everything these days that, if it was something that law enforcement could do, I'm sure they would have, and we've, somebody, in my opinion, probably would have been arrested by now, just for the sheer fact that, that's some damning evidence right there. And again, it wouldn't take too much, in my opinion, for the FBI to find out who had access to that burner phone, in my opinion, whether it be tracing it to an address where it was shipped to, if it was purchased off the internet, if it was purchased at a Walmart, if it was purchased at a kiosk in the mall. I mean, cell phones are like so searchable these days. You know what I mean? I mean, even if it was, the guys on the street that have those jackets, and they open them up, there's watches everywhere. Like if you had one that had burner phones in it, that burner phone's eventually, I mean, it's going to show it was at some point purchased somewhere, right? And in my opinion, that would help track down at least someone. So the other part of this kind of concerns me, though, because if this information is legit, It sounds like it was leaked, and I mean, if it is legit, you know, if I was an investigator, I'd been like, really? Uh, okay, someone's leaking the information here. You know what I mean? Because that might have been something that was important to the investigation, and here it is being leaked. I don't know. I mean, if it's legit, I don't know how it got leaked. Don't know if it'll. I mean, if it's legit, don't know if it'll damage the investigation, if any. But you always run the risk of it damaging the investigation, right? There's always that possibility. And in my opinion, it's careless. If it's legit and it's being put out there to the public and it was, stuff that was supposed to be held close to the vest, that's careless, in my opinion. Because, people are saying, well, it was a burner phone from the Clarksville area. Well, what if the police had an operation going now for a while, watching a few people? Yeah. Well, change of plans. The information's been leaked. So, you see what I'm saying? So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, does it get clicks and views? New information in the Sebastian Rogers case. I guess it does. Could it hinder the investigation? Possibly. I'd say if it is legit, I guarantee you law enforcement's not happy about it being spread all over social media and the public and all that. I don't know where it come from, guys. Don't know where it come from. But again, what concerns me in the Sebastian Rogers case is if the boy had walked out of the house, just like several other cases, especially here in right up here in Jefferson County, little girl walked out. She is autistic. They tracked her right to the lake, found her body down at the bottom of the lake. They was able to track her, right? I think there was another scenario where they was able to track the person. If Sebastian walked out of that house, they would have positively had they would have had a positive hit. I mean, to this day, investigators are like, we don't know if that was Sebastian. No, there was just no trace. You hear everything from there was no trace of him around the house or anything like that when it comes to the dogs, to, well, the dogs did hit on something, but we can't confirm it was Sebastian's scent, right? So, I guess we're still at square one on that one. And in my opinion, if Sebastian had walked out of that house, there'd have been a positive hit going somewhere. Like if Sebastian went to the road and met a car, got into a car, there would, the dog would have went from somewhere around the residence, whether it be if Sebastian went out a window, there would have been a scent trail, a positive scent trail going from the window to the road, from the door to the road, from the garage door to the road. There would have been some kind of positive scent going somewhere. But to this day, it just puzzles me why law enforcement can't say there was a positive trail the dogs were following on Sebastian. As far as I know, that's really not been said. It's just a bunch of, well, we don't know, and there's no sign of him around the house. There was no sign of him even being there, almost like is what they're trying to make it sound like. And if that's the case, if it sounds like there was just no sign of Sebastian there, like if they can't find any sign of Sebastian being there after Texas Roadhouse, did he really ever make it home? And a lot of people are saying, well, police said that, they have video of him taking out the trash or something like that, right? So, Prove me wrong. But show it, prove it. I mean, if law enforcement can prove that he was there after Texas Road, I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. Until then, in my opinion, knowing the case, I don't think Sebastian made it home. Or if he did, no, I don't think he made it home. In my opinion, if Sebastian, just based off whatever law enforcement is saying, I'm just under the impression he never made it home. I mean, that's where I stand until proven otherwise. Now, if there was like positive, if they said, yeah, we had a positive trail on him, like they did in the Summer Wells case. Ronnie Lawson said, yeah, we had a good trail on her that led down to the road, and that's where it ended, right? At least he said that. In the Sebastian Rogers case, we can't even get that. So, until we get that, I'm just under the impression boy never made it home. So that's my opinion. Anyway, guys, that's how I feel about the whole situation. Thanks for giving me emails, telling me about it and all that. But again, 2 months from now, we'll still be. I mean, I'd say 2 months from now, even though they've had this news. We're new to the news, but law enforcement, if it's legit, law enforcement's had it all this time. So, and if they have been watching some people based off that information, yeah, it's I'm kind of disappointed that the information did get leaked to the public. But at the same time, if it was something of definite importance, I feel like somebody would have, definitely been questioned, and maybe they were hitting hard on them based off that information, and this person maybe have shut down and lawyered up or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's just, if it's legit, yes, it's new information, but it's not like, in my opinion, it's not like anybody's going to be arrested tomorrow because of it. Law enforcement's had this, if it's legit anyway, for, months and months. So that's how I feel about it. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Appreciate you for tuning in, and I'll check you out next video.